It's also a novel in cartoons. Actually, the author describes it as a novel in cartoons. And this book is very popular. There have been over 250 million books sold worldwide. Hi guys, welcome to Fasihi Lounge Kenya. My name is Bihenda.
And I'm Sheila.
Happy New Year. This year, 2025, is an exciting year for us. We have a range of books that we intend to discuss throughout the year. And to start us off, we will start with a children's book titled Diary of a Wimpy Kid by Jeff Kinney. It is a novel in cartoons with over 250 million books sold worldwide.
Yeah, so the book is for children and kids aged between 7 to about 13. That's the preteen age. It's written in a form of a diary entry. When we start the book, we are introduced to a child who's been given diary, but he does not want to call it a journal, so he just puts it in writing of what is happening day in, day out through the school year, during the holidays, etc.
Yes, so we're basically going to just do a review for the parents because as the book, the way in which the book is written is a bit hard to discuss using our usual format. So
Yeah, so Bihenda, what would you say the plot of the book is about?
basically, we have the main character whose name is Greg Heffley, and the book is as you've mentioned, a journal where he puts his basic life, what happens from morning to evening on a daily basis. Of course, jumping day by day, but on a daily basis, his relationships and how he gets on with his family, his siblings, his parents, his friends, his best friend, and other friends and classmates while he goes to school.
Yeah.
And also what he gets up to during school hours, during home hours, and also during vacation time.
Yeah. So the book, as is so cleverly titled, The Diary of a Wimpy Kid, do you think the title captivates children?
Actually, now that you brought it up, wimpy. What does wimpy mean?
Wimpy means cowardly, weak, or feeble.
Because this, from what I've seen now, I'm actually tying it to
The character
how
of Greg.
Greg is. Yeah, he is actually a wimpy kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's in and out of many situations that are sometimes fun, sometimes dangerous, sometimes a bit tricky.
Yeah.
He
thinks just like a kid, like just the way kids think.
Yes.
And it's almost, and they can't concentrate, just the way it's been written, they can't concentrate on one thing for long. So
yes.
It's like he's writing about this, then shortly he writes about something else, and sometimes it's even hard to piece together what is going on.
Yes.
But when you think about it, he's actually a kid.
Yes, and I think as the author cleverly put it, the fact that this diary entry has a lot of things that are moving quite fast, a lot of illustrations, I feel like that captivates most children to actually want to read the book because it's quite a light read. The book is about 200 pages, and that takes about less than a day if a child has time, honestly. So you're looking for an easy read for your children to introduce language, to introduce vocabulary, to introduce to maybe make your children want to express themselves more. It is an option.
He's quite an expressive kid, by the way. I'd like to just point out like how his relationships with his parents, his brothers, it's just typical of a kid of his age. How old is he, by the way? What did they say?
He says that he's in, is it junior high? The fact that we are not, it's not written in a Kenyan setting, would mean that in Kenya that would sort of be a child in grade 4. between grade
So
4,
around
5 thereabout.
11 years. It should be
Yes.
10, 11 years. Yeah, so at that age as a kid, half the things that you're told to do by your parents, you feel like nasumbuliwa, like
Yeah.
which is what he's showing here.
Yeah,
You don't understand most middle school. Yes,
Yeah,
you don't understand most of the things that your parents are asking you to do. You want to do your own things. Your parents are reprimanding you for half of the things you're doing.
Yeah, and then he justifies his thinking and his
Yes,
actions.
and he has a justification for every single thing he does, no matter how silly it is. He find a way to justify it.
Yeah.
And then you can see his relationship with his brother Roderick, like his big brother Roderick.
And
it's kind of like Roderick is bullying him. Wanachokozana, just the way even us guys when we were kids, how you would be with your siblings. Mnachokozana, you're always pulling pranks on each other or tricks on each other. And then now the older brother is kind of like that with him, and then he's also like that now with his younger brother Manny. So he's also like trying to pull tricks on him, and he looks at him like he's annoying, like his little brother is annoying, you know.
Yeah. In the same breath, with the relationship he has with his siblings, there's also some semblance of responsibilities bestowed upon him. In some parts of the book, he has to take care of his younger brother, where the younger brother has to accompany him with his friend as they go trick-or-treating during the what's this holiday? Halloween, yes.
Yeah.
And then also in school he gets to do that with his friend, where he gets to take care of children to cross the road and whatnot. So there's some semblance of responsibilities bestowed upon him, and some he actually seeks out himself. So it kind of shows how like your child can pick up some things in the book. We get to see that he initiates a lot of the things he wants to do, and he actually goes through them. There are things that he tries to do that really completely fail, but there are some that he actually succeeds. And in both spectrums, I think for children who are preteens, it's actually important to actually get to see that they can actually do whatever it is they want to do.
Yeah, I liked that aspect about him. That's one of the things I actually liked about him, how he would always try out for different things in school. Yeah. And he wasn't like, he was outgoing and social, and he would, every time there would be something, an announcement for kids to do something, he would try out. Yeah. And even there were some where he was forced, like the play by the parents, but at least he tried out, which is a good thing.
Yeah. We also get to see quite a bit about his relationship with the family in terms of how the family shows up for him, which is quite good for even kids that age who feel like they're quite independent, they don't need their parents, to actually see that they still need their parents. We get to see that in the plays, the parents turn out, they take photos. So basically, favorite characters, it's more because I can't really relate to children. I think the proof is in the pudding. There are different relationships, basically. Maybe different characters have different quirks, which is quite okay.
I think they are all just interesting characters in their own way. So it's really hard to be like, this is the favorite, this is not. In such the way in which the book has been written, we can just say each character has their own like different
characters.
Yes, just the way they are, and the way it's been brought out, it doesn't really bring a lot of emotion from the reader in such a way that you'd be able to say this is your favorite character and this is your worst character and these are the reasons. The characters are very light, like that's how light. I can put it.
I feel like as much as the characters are light, in that sense, if you were to put ourselves in the shoes of a
kid,
a middle school kid, these emotions in this book are quite, in this diary, are quite, at the moment they feel quite heavy, but in retrospect, perhaps the kid would feel that it was just part of life and things would move on.
So if we're giving advice to the parents about this book, on what are we saying, that they should discuss this with their kids?
They definitely can. It's not mandatory, but they definitely can. Because it kind of makes it easier for children to know they're not the only ones going through whatever it is they're going through at that specific time.
True.
Yeah.
And kids' favorite part of the book. So
What would be your favorite part of the book?
okay. So I'll read a little bit of what was my favorite part of the book. May, Thursday. Today I was trying to figure out how I was going to sneak a drawing pin onto Mr. Watt's chair in history when he said something that made me rethink my plan. Mr. Watt told us he has a dentist's appointment tomorrow, so we are going to have a substitute. Subs are like comic gold. You can say just about anything you want and you can't get in trouble. Greg Heffley, will you please do this problem? Your mama. Excuse me? Your big fat granny. Well, I hardly think that your slap happy grandpappy. Friday, I walked into my history class today, ready to execute my plan. But when I got to the door, guess who the substitute teacher was? Hi, honey bunches. Of all the people in the world to be our sub today, it was Mom. I thought Mom's days of getting involved at my school were over. She used to be one of those parents who came in to help out in the classroom. But that all changed after Mom volunteered to be a chaperone for a field trip to the zoo when I was in 3rd grade. So for me, this is my favorite part. It's funny because Greg was planning to do some sort of a prank on his teacher. And then the teacher announced that he would not be there. There would be a substitute teacher, of which Greg was even happier to do the prank because he thought it would be easier to get away with it. Little did he know that the substitute teacher was actually his mom.
His mom,
yeah. So he wasn't able to do the prank.
I think for me, my favorite part in the book is a part that kind of closes the book in a nice way. We start the book with something to do with cheese, the cheese touch. And for kids, you'd have to read the book to know what that is about. So here it goes. Rolly was starting to panic, and I don't blame him either. If the truth ever came out about the cheese, how the cheese disappeared, Rolly would be finished. He'd have to move out of the state and maybe even the country. That's when I decided to speak up. I told everyone that I knew what happened to the cheese. I said I was sick of it being on the court, and I just decided to get rid of it once and for all. So I think just to put a suspense there, should any child want to read, then they can go and read and find out what happened to the cheese, why it was such a big issue in the book, and
the cheese is the main character in the book.
Yes, absolutely.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that would be the part that is a favorite for me because it kind of closes the book in a nice way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So would you change anything in the story?
No, not really.
Not really.
Yeah. It's a good story and it's good for the age group it was written for. Yes.
So because it was a good book, I would think that you would recommend it to children. Yeah.
Yes, I would. Children around 9 to 11 years old.
Yeah, so in the Kenyan setting, that would be a grade 4, grade 3, 4, actually 4, 5, 6.
4, 5, 6, yes.
Yes.
So Diary of a Wimpy, I'm also still looking at the cover of the book and seeing that it's also an original movie. It's actually even been done as a movie in Disney Plus, in the Disney Plus channel. So kids get into it. It's a series. We've also forgotten to mention that it's a series.
Yeah, it definitely is a series. The author has several, about
9 plus 6, 15.
15 books.
15 books in the series
15
so
books
far.
in the series so far. So it's quite a way to get your child into reading because it's such a light read. A child can actually read it very fast because children are they get bored quite easily. So as a parent, it's easier for you to recommend a book that your children can go through them as fast as possible and also request for other books. It's important to note that the setting of the book is in a different country. So for specifically Kenyan parents, this would open your children's eyes to the possibility of other activities they would want to do. In the book, we get to see that this child actually got involved in as many physical activities, outdoors activities as much as possible, which is quite a good thing because in the Kenyan setting, perhaps all these opportunities are not there in public school. So the child can get to experience and learn more in that sense.
So this one that we've read is actually the first in the series,
Yes.
Diary of a Wimpy Kid. But then the series, I think now there are 16. They are written here, so there are 16 books in the series. So yeah, what else is there?
I think that's it. It has been quite a nice read to read as an adult. Definitely does not carry a lot of heavy themes, which is what I think most parents are quite afraid of at the moment. So I think this is parent approved. Yeah. Rowley. Yeah. With that, I think we come to an end to this review. It has been wonderful reading the book, and we hope to read other children's book. You can still recommend any other books you would want us to go through them.
Yes. Yeah. So join us this year as we continue to delve into different books. And our next read is actually going to be this.
Our next book is going to be a book by Hana Yanagihara. It's called A Little Life. It's a book that follows 4 friends after their university college experience. So
A Little Life.
A Little Life.
Okay.
Yeah.
We are going back to adult books anyway. Join us for the next review, guys. And thank you for listening to this one.
Thank you. Enjoy and have a fantastic year.
Bye. Remember to keep it Fasihi Lounge Kenya for your best book reviews in Kenya and around the world.
Adios.
Bye.